slice it, grate it, melt it. No matter how you serve it, cheese puts a smile on everyone's face.
Go.
Who will take home the cheddar and who will be chopped? Please open your baskets. The mandatory ingredients for the first round are boxed mac and cheese, Canadian bacon, Swiss chard, and monkfish. Only 20 minutes for the first round. Clock starts now.
The perfect bite of mac and cheese. It's warm, it's creamy, there's a lot of texture going on with it. When I was a little kid, I always loved cutting up pieces of meat and crisping them up and putting them in my mac and cheese, so this is golden. I'm going to make a Canadian bacon wrapped monkfish, and I want to serve it over Swiss chard with the macaroni pasta. After I wrap the monkfish in the Canadian bacon, I take the monkfish carcass and I make a fish stock. I want to utilize that as my brodo, an Italian broth.
I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Mac and cheese is a food that I grew up with. It's on almost every menu. So I'm making monkfish mac and cheese. I'm gonna start reducing cream. That's gonna be the base. And then I'm gonna add Parmesan, ricotta, and then the flavor packet that's in there. I want to get really good color on the Canadian bacon, and that'll add depth to my dish. My strategy is just to cook technically well. And I just want to do the best that I can, and hopefully to win some money for the Encircle project.
Mac and cheese is not eaten a lot in Cambodian culture. And I'm lactose intolerant, but I like mac and cheese. If it's really good, I'll suffer through the pain a little bit. I am making a Cajun monkfish mac and cheese with fried Swiss chard. So I cover my monkfish with my spice blend, some chili powder, ginger, garlic. Losing isn't the worst thing in the world, but winning is the best thing in the world.
I make macaroni and cheese for my kids quite often, at least 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes only thing my daughter eats. So this is gonna be the easiest chop episode ever. I see these wonton wrappers and I'm thinking I'm gonna make mac and cheese, monkfish, wontons. I flour my monkfish, salt it, pepper it, and then throw it in the oven. I go to my Swiss chard, trying to break it down, and then I get my chard in the pan with the bacon. And then I start with my cream mixture and add my packet of cheese. I throw in some taleggio cheese for extra creaminess. This is gonna be amazing.
I still have a fair amount of Canadian bacon. I cut it into lardons and incorporate that into my Swiss chard and macaroni pasta ragu, if you will. My nonna, she's one of my really great influences. When we sit down for big family meals, you can't leave the table until your food's finished. But the second you finish your food, it gets filled up again. She always just wanted to make sure that everyone was completely taken care of.
I decided to poach the monkfish because it has the same texture as lobster. And poaching lobster in Vermonte is definitely the way to go. Vermonte is a sauce of water and butter, but I added lemon and thyme to it to add some freshness. It keeps the moisture inside, and if you overcook monkfish, it's very, very chewy. I really enjoy everything about French cooking. I think that it's precise and delicious and unctuous, and it's very technical.
I love pork with mac and cheese. For my sauce, I diced up my Canadian bacon and I rendered it out in the butter. Everything's better with butter. I add the cheese powder and shredded Gruyere. In the Cambodian culture, food is definitely a big, big part of it. When you call someone, the first thing you ask is not, how are you? It's, have you eaten yet?
And chefs, you've got 5 minutes left to go.
I grab my monkfish out of the oven, so I start just hacking away at it to get it small enough to fit into my wonton. And then I'm just gonna combine everything. And I know that it tastes good, but I have less than 5 minutes left, and I have not made one wonton. The panic is there. If I don't get this on the plate, I know that I'm gonna be chopped.
I'm gonna be using this flavor pack sort of as an emulsifier and make a Havarti and powdered cheese glaze to spoon over top of the bacon-wrapped monkfish.
I am frying the Swiss chard in the deep fryer. What it's going to do is make it very, very crispy.
I look at the Swiss chard, and I knew I wanted to fry it. Behind.
They're frying it up, too. Oh, come on, man, really?
60 seconds to go. Tiffany has hit the fryer. Can that get done?
Oh my God.
This is
she
stressing
needs to
me
stop
out.
playing. Oh my God.
My wontons are still not ready. I'm just panicking.
I'm finishing my dish with a little lemon zest. That acid might be enough to just carry through and cut through that fat all the way down to the monkfish.
And chefs, you are coming up on 10 seconds left here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Please step back.
Today we have monkfish mac and cheese. I wanted to go for the most classic kind of mac and cheese look and feel.
I think the portion and the presentation is perfect for an appetizer. And the monkfish, it's charred in a beautiful way. It gives a certain meatiness that stands up to the pasta and to the noodle. I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
The monkfish is cooked beautifully, but to me, the Swiss chard is not successful at all because this is already a very rich dish. On top of that, to put something fried was not a great way to balance the dish.
For me, the one thing that doesn't belong here at all is the lemon zest. It gives it a super floral note, and it obscures the cheese.
Next up, Chef Bun.
Today, chef, I made for you a Cajun monkfish mac and cheese with fried Swiss chard on top.
Okay.
I actually really like this dish. I think all the flavors you chose go really nicely together. I think the spices pick up and make the bacon kind of smoky.
I think the idea of putting very big, bold seasonings on proteins is very much Louisiana. And in this case, the monkfish actually stands up to it. The flavors on that fish and that seasoning are wonderful.
I agree. I like the spice blends that you got to the party, but I wish there was more cheese.
I made a mac and cheese wonton with monkfish, Swiss chard, and Canadian bacon.
I think it's delicious.
Thank you.
I like the different textures. The cohesiveness of the macaroni and cheese, the bacon, the chard, and the fish works.
I thank you for finally giving us Swiss chard. You gave it to us in its true essence. I appreciate that a lot. And it gives you something fresh. I just love that.
I think this is widely creative, but I think time did catch you off guard over here because you did not fry the wontons long enough.
Here today I have for you a Canadian bacon wrapped monkfish with macaroni and a Parmesan brodo.
I absolutely love this.
Thank you.
I really do. And you know, I don't usually say that. You know, I think people use bacon as a crutch sometimes. And in this case, it's not.
I agree with Arun. Just to get the monkfish along with the Canadian bacon is great.
I mean, I just think you use the pantry really wisely, which is to say, in this case, not much at all. It's just tremendously thoughtful. Your brodo and all your other choices that you made are also meticulously done, but I'm also eating a lot of overcooked box pasta, so it's kind of dragging it down.
Unfortunately, one chef won't get to continue in the fun. So, whose dish is on the chopping block? Chef Matt, you've been chopped. Judges?
Matt, we liked a lot of the choices that you made. We just felt that the fried Swiss chard on top of the macaroni and cheese made for a heavy dish without much relief. And the addition of the lemon zest kind of left the macaroni and cheese behind. And for those reasons, we had to chop you.
Thanks for having me. Had a good time.
Open them up. And the mandatory ingredients for the entree round, deep dish pizza.
All right. Oh, man. This looks awful.
What?
Deep dish pizza is awesome, but looking at this, it's processed. I don't even know if it's warm.
Canadian bacon.
Bacon? Always good.
Oh God, what is that?
Is this a bug?
Basil-flavored Queen Weaver ants.
My mind just automatically shuts down when I see ants, and I'm just completely disgusted.
And pico malero.
This I can work with. This is tasty.
That's delicious cheese. It's really remind me the pecorino that we have in Italy. I love it.
Your 30-minute round starts now.
Currently, I can execute about 13 different styles of pizza, and with every style of pizza comes a different cheese. So pico malero, I know the hardness of it. I know how it melts. I want to showcase the high-end cheese with a Prosecco sauce. So I'm gonna make cheesy polenta topped with Italian sausage and a Prosecco cheese sauce. I get my polenta cooking with a little bit of chicken stock and a little bit of butter to give it a really creamy, nice, spreadable consistency.
I see this big block of cheese. It's kind of reminding me of parm. And I see this tomato sauce on the pizza. And I'm thinking, I want to do a pasta. I'm making a Canadian bacon and chorizo marinara pasta. So I start working on my sauce. I start by layering it with white onion and not red because the red onion really screwed me on the last round. And then I add the Canadian bacon. I look over to Love Franco's, and he's doing pasta as well. There is no way in hell that this beautiful Italian man here isn't gonna know how to make pasta that's bomb. So I better have damn good pasta. Let's go.
I want to make pasta because bacon and cheese just remind me of carbonara. It's a typical Romance dish that's combined guanciale, which is cured pork cheek, and pecorino and eggs. But the Canadian bacon doesn't have any fat, so grab the pancetta, start to saute with the bacon.
Canadian bacon is not held in high regard. So immediately I think about candying the Canadian bacon, add it to an arugula salad. I grab the honey. I know that there's a sweetness to it that won't extremely overpower it. I grab some of the spicy paprika to offset it.
Coming behind, coming behind.
Rahaf, you can tell that she's definitely on a daily basis thinking outside the box no matter what. You know, she's small, but she's mighty.
Behind.
The thing that always motivates me is people telling me that I can't do something. I mean, that just lights a fire under me. I was born during an earthquake, so I love to shake things up. Canadian bacon doesn't really have much fat, so that's why I run and go grab the chorizo. And also, the spice from the chorizo will cut the sweetness from the Canadian bacon and also kind of give it more body. Those ants, you try it and you're like, and you're just like, what is this? Because you know, like, it's basil, but it's basil that's, like, skewed, you know? To make the toasted ant breadcrumb mix, I take the pizza crust with the ants. The crunch from the ants and the bread will at least mask this weird basil flavor.
I like to have a little bit of breadcrumbs into my pasta because it gives me the crunchiness and also soak up a little bit of the sauce. So I add the pizza and the ant.
Less than 10 minutes on the clock, chefs.
I'm using the deep dish pizza as a crouton, but I can't just throw it in a pan and dry it out. I gotta put some butter and a little bit of seasoning on this.
To make the best pasta, you keep your pasta a little bit watery, and then you put your cheese and your olive oil. And then you start to take off the fire and start to emulsify.
Chefs, less than 5 minutes on the clock.
I start to plate. I look over, crap, I forgot the ants. So I add it to the salad, hoping that it gives it enough textural contrast.
1 minute on the clock, chefs.
I get my plates together and then I just shave that pico malera on top of it just to showcase how beautiful of a cheese that is.
Lanfranco, is your pasta perfect?
I think so.
Are you going to be finished with your pasta? Crickets or ants.
Finish fast, chefs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Please step back.
Whew. Chefs, you have a Canadian bacon and chorizo marinara pasta with tomato sauce and toasted ant breadcrumbs on top.
I love the breadcrumbs. Adding texture to the ants to make them antier was really smart, and I love the way you just simply put the cheese on top. This was a cheese that just we needed to actually experience.
Yeah, I really like that you get that last lingering bite of salt from the pico malero.
Thank you.
But I don't taste the Canadian bacon at all, and really the predominant meat element is chorizo, which wasn't an ingredient.
Don't run to the pantry and get all the good stuff and crowd the basket ingredients.
Heard. Thank you so much.
Next up, Chef Lanfranco.
It's wild spaghetti carbonara. Because I put ants into the carbonara, so that's why it's wild.
The beautiful thing with the carbonara is the creaminess and guanciale, right? So you would say that Canadian bacon would be the guanciale?
Well, I grab some pancetta and I mix the bacon inside because I cannot make carbonara with the Canadian bacon because it doesn't have any fat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to find the Canadian bacon because you put something better in there, but I absolutely love the way you use the ants in your dish. Mixing them with the breadcrumbs and everything else and using them as a topping. I see them, I taste them, and I enjoy the texture.
I agree with you, and I think you used that pico malora, the sheep milk cheese, really well. I mean, the carbonara was the taste of the cheese. Delicious.
Thank you.
Finally, Chef Laura.
What I've prepared for you today is cheesy polenta topped with Italian sausage and a Prosecco pico malero sauce, accompanied with a candied bacon and ant arugula salad.
Did you like the cheese?
I loved it. I thought it was very reminiscent of Pecorino Romano as well as Parmesan, in which I've done different sauces using both.
I love the Prosecco and the pico malero sauce. The flavor is so concentrated and you get all the piquancy and the intensity of the cheese, and I think that that's really interesting with the polenta. And with the Canadian bacon, I think you took an ingredient that was not a terribly interesting ingredient and made it smoky, sweet, so gave it complexity. Where the dish doesn't work so well for me is that it's not cohesive. So I see one thing here and one thing there that I think is really great, but it doesn't come together. And I wish that the sausage didn't get as much attention as it does.
Yeah. The plating and the proportion size of the sausage is what makes this a tough bite.
Again, you're leaning more towards the pantry and away from the basket.
Understood. Thank you, judges.
Whose dish is on the chopping block? Chef Laura, you've been chopped. Judges?
Chef Laura, we thought you took a kind of a mediocre ingredient in the Canadian bacon and made it exceptional and interesting. But at the end of the day, there was an over-reliance of ingredients from the pantry, and they weren't really put together in a cohesive way, and so you have been chopped.
Understandable. Thank you for the opportunity.
Dig in for your dessert ingredients. Your sweet dishes must include
entire cake. Dessert's done.
Cheese cracker crunch cake, grapes, sour cherry spread.
Yes, sir. Sour cherry spread.
And honey goat Gouda.
I think I could actually do something with this.
Yeah.
30 minutes. Clock starts now.
All right. Make it cheesy.
I got you. Yeah, measuring cups, bro. Let me know if you need one.
Measuring cups.
I'm making corn cakes because cornbread is a big part of cooking in the South. And I remember growing up, my grandma would tell me, you put all that sugar in there, it might as well be a cake. So I'm like, this is the day that I can make it a cake. I'm making a honey Gouda corn cake with the cheese cracker mascarpone and a golden raisin grape chutney.
I've used Gouda before. I've never used honey goat Gouda. I taste it, very floralness of honey, not necessarily sweet. I know Gouda has a great melting point, and that's immediately when it pops into my head. Okay, do a little panna cotta. For dessert, I'm making a Gouda panna cotta with a port cherry gastrique and sliced grapes.
Chef Patrick is making a panna cotta.
That's bold.
It's extremely bold. It usually has to set overnight.
Good luck.
So I want to melt the Gouda down into my cream before I set it. So I have all those honey notes. I've got my sour cherry gastrique on the stove, hit it with the port wine, and then you have this really nice, rich wine flavor with some very sweet and a little bit of tart cherry. It works out really, really well.
A cake kind of good, bro. To go with my cake, I'm making a mascarpone whip. I'm adding in the grapes just to add a little bit more acid and a little bit of fruity flavor to an otherwise very rich mascarpone. I'm using the sour cherry spread to make a golden raisin chutney. It's very tart and pungent, and that's exactly what I wanted to break up all the creaminess in the dish.
I want to make sure I'm incorporating texture because I have just a very pudding-like dessert. So I think I'm going to fry up this cake.
My cakes are fully baked. I'm just a little worried they're not going to come out of the pan.
Anthony, you having a hard time getting them cakes out of that tin?
Not anymore. Woo, you called it right there. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Let's see the panna cotta.
You guys realize there's 2 minutes and 15 seconds left, right?
We do.
This is your final cheese round. Is it cheesy?
Is it good?
Is cheese the star?
It's definitely cheesy.
1 minute left, chefs.
Come on, friends, y'all can do it. Who's walking away with the 10 racks?
The big cheese.
All right, chefs, final seconds of the final round. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
So I made for you today a Gouda panna cotta with a crispy cracker cake glazed with a sour cherry port gastrique.
Okay, there's the eternal question whenever someone attempts a panna cotta, did it get set?
It did set up, which I think was the biggest challenge. Texturally, it's not panna cotta, but it can pass for one.
I agree. It's more of a mousse or pudding, but I actually think it's quite tasty.
I liked it. I thought it was very delicious. I had crunchy, I had texture, and I was kind of looking at the grapes on the side because I thought it was kind of an afterthought. But when you eat it all together, it was absolutely delicious. I liked it.
All right. Thank you, Chef Patrick.
Thank you very much.
Finally, Chef Anthony, please tell us about your plate.
I have a honey Gouda corn cake with a little bit of cheese cracker mascarpone and some golden raisin and grape chutney.
I like the idea of this a lot. My problem with this is, like, I love the taste of the bites I get, but then I start crunching cornmeal, that the cornmeal isn't cooked, or... Are you getting that?
Yeah. I mean, but the cake, when you're not eating the big pieces of the cornmeal, is really good. The jam that you made goes really well with the cake and the cream.
You know what this reminds me of? When you go to like diners, like in New York City, when you get like the corn muffin they put on top of the griddle.
In the morning.
That's what it's giving me. Overall, I think we all agree it does need more sugar because it's not giving dessert, but it brought back a memory, and I think that's what I appreciate.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block? Patrick, you've been chopped. Judges?
Patrick, your first course was just a thing of beauty. The way you used cheese, your thought process, making a crab cake, it was delicious. Crab cake was a bit tough, so that brought you down on the first course. Second course, a really delicious veal saltimbocca. However, the pasta, man, wow, big mistake putting pre-cooked pasta reheated on the plate. So for those reasons, we had to chop you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So much, man.
Chef, be well.
You know, obviously very disappointed in the result at the moment. I definitely wanted to walk away with a victory today. Just bummed out.
And that means, Chef Anthony Denning, you are the chopped champion, also known as the Big Cheese, and you take home our $10,000 prize. Congratulations.
Yeah! Congratulations. Thank you very much.